Rev.
Yeah, each of her signature wolves that are adhered to her body for reasons, quote unquote, which you will find out, they do something different to help her kit all work together. And this is one of the first frames, maybe it is the first frame, that just doesn't have a passive, and your passive is decided in mission. So currently, you're going to have no passive, but you get to choose it mid-mission and swap between whatever you think the mission is going to demand of you. So each passive speaks to what I'll call a wolf archetype. So one of her 4 companion wolves that are on her body brings something different, be it stealth, be it chaos, be it what I'm calling food for the pack, and then the ultimate, which is just sheer Ulfrin's descent. I'm sure you'll know it when you see it.
She's Carnage.
Yes.
But we're going to do a little show and tell.
Yes. So she does have 4 passives, and we'll go through all of them when we're in the mission.
We shall. Also coming in Lua's Prey is a new twist on survival with a new game mode called Conjunction Survival.
Yes.
Lua has expanded to have 2 new nodes, both of them Conjunction Survival. We did showcase this a little bit on the last dev stream. It has changed since then, so we're going to show you it, walk you through it. The 2 new nodes that are going to be coming are the Uvarium, which has a Luvarian will tell you all about that.
Yes.
So this is the 25 to 30, a little bit of an easier, based on we have a lot of 25 to 30 happening on Lua. And then we have a little bit more of a challenge in the 80-100 Conjunction Survival. We're going to jump into this one.
Yes. So the reason we have 2 is because they're going to have different drop tables, different things for you to play for and earn. The first mission is a little bit more entry level, so if you've truly just finished the War Within, that's probably where you're going to want to go to get Voruna. But if you're someone that wants to really put your builds to the test, you can go to the more difficult one, and you'll also be able to get Arcanes there. And there's something else you'll be able to get that Yonta will be interested in.
So not only can you get Voruna and her pieces, but also the Paragale, the Seraphang, they are in here as well. And speaking of Yonta also plays a part.
Steel Path, it's going to be plus levels. I saw someone saying level 200 Steel Path missions. Nice. Yeah, we wanted to dial it up. All right, Voruna.
All right, let's talk about the passives a little bit. Like you said, you can have 4 different passes at your choosing, and you can flip-flop between them as you see fit, how you feel. So first up, Shroud of Dinar.
Yes, so that's the first ability, but if you hold it, if you summon Dinar to your side, this is just going to give you parkour velocity. So if you're a player that wants to parkour more, further, better distances, use your bullet jumps, this is the first passive that you can actually parkour so high that you'll hit the teleport volume.
Isn't that fun?
And if that's not a passive, I don't know what is. The second,
don't worry about them. Ignore them.
Ignore them.
Second one, we have Fangs of Rashk. Passive.
So the passive, once you hold the second, this will make you completely immune to status effects. So if you summon your second one, your Raksh, he as a wolf was your steadfast ally, and this will mean that no status effects can impact you at all. You keep that passive up.
And there is no energy cost to switch between passives. Nope. Changing your passive on the fly is completely up to you at no cost. And now we move into Lyceth's Hunt passive.
Yes.
The third passive.
Yes.
This is the one that you said, the food or hunting for food?
Well, we find ourselves, the ability is food related.
Is food related, yes.
And, for this one, what was I thinking for this one?
Well, she's a melee, like you said, she's a melee focused frame. So this one is going to give you heavy attack efficiency.
Yes. So this one is, when you see the kit come together, when we play through them, you're gonna find yourself choosing between these passives depending, again, what you're doing with the enemies. So this one is going to give you that heavy attack efficiency. Currently, it's 100%, subject to change. This is the dev build. So you kind of could be choosing between mid-mission. Do you want to have a melee build that's not going to drain your efficiency if you're doing heavy attacks, or your status effect immunity at this time. Again, dev build, things could change. But you can only have one up at a time, so you kind of need to be choosing on the fly. So, and then your ultimate one, Ulfrin, when you summon him, this one is actually a little bit like a second life. So Ulfrin will die in your place. So there is a cooldown on this one. When you have it up, you are shielded by Ulfrin, and if you take lethal damage, it will spend Ulfrin, he will die in your place, and then you'll have a 30-second cooldown before you can pull it up again. So essentially what you're doing is each wolf is giving you part of their archetype, part of their abilities, and you can rotate through them, and those passives will serve you well in your mission. So you can swap around.
So for my playing right now, I'm going to go with the Fangs of Rashk passive, so the immunity on status effect, just to kind of give myself a little bit of a fighting chance here. And we have our we have our hunters.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your weapon.
He's going to steal my pistol. This is a Paragale. I'm doing my little sniping, and if I get, I have my Lyceth's Hunt ability up right now. Rev, if you want to talk about that one.
Oh, yeah. What do you have up? Sorry.
I have Lyceth's Hunt up.
Oh yes. So you can see at the bottom right there. For this is a timed buff, and you want to keep it up because what this is about food for the pack. This is a type of ability that will generate things for you and your squad mates. So with this ability right now in the dev build, every headshot will drop energy. And then every melee kill will drop a health orb. So you're kind of going through and killing with whatever melee you have on, or whatever heads you can pop, and you can generate energy and health for you and your squad. So generating that health will of course help with Voruna's survivability. The energy will allow you to have a pretty reliable way to generate energy. This is also her Helminth ability, but it's at a diminished rate, so it's only 50% for Helminth. But the reason that there's a couple things with this update that are health orb based. One, we just straight up buffed them. Health orbs now give 50 health instead of 25. This is because as you are starting your Warframe journey, the 25 flat health is just a little too low, especially compared to the way we sustain with health orbs. So yeah. Health is now simply buffed, and we actually are releasing a new arcane that you'll be able to get in this game mode, where you will be able to scale your health value for every health orb picked up. So for instance, if you're Voruna, every time you grab a health orb in the mission, you will just have, your health bar will just grow up to a max stack. So I think right now it's like 4 health per orb. Numbers are changing, I might be wrong, but you can imagine, you can see your 114 health value going to 1,110 going to 1,114, and then going up and up and up and up to a stack. So real time in mission, you can be adding health to your tank. It's very good for Inara, it's very good for health-based frames, or even shield frames that you just want to have more health on, and that's an arcane. All right.
So, sorry for just going to
ranting.
town.
I'm filling in the Pablo void.
It's okay. Pablo, we miss you. Love you. So first ability, Shroud of Denier. It's going to give me a invisibility while I'm not attacking. So it is think of a sneaky wolf finding their prey, I attack, and it's going to give me a little bit of a buff as well, little time window buff.
Yes, so the thinking behind the first ability is Dynar is all about stealth. So this is the Shroud of Dynar is the ability. It's an invisibility and repositioning melee-based ability. So you go fully invisible, you can get into position, and once you break, literally once you attack, you will break stealth. But you have a very small window that if you kill in that window, your crit and status are increased. So you're using invisibility, breaking it to attack, and then in the event that it's a lethal hit, you will have a crit and status buff. So it's all about cloaking up, and then getting in position, and then attack.
And then your Fangs of Rashk is a status effect stack on this enemy. He just died. So.
Yeah, this is the dev build. I think, are you modded right now?
I am modded.
Yeah, so
modded for success.
Lots of mods going on here for in this build. But what we have with the second one is we wanted to play with the idea of chaos and status with Voruna. It's important for her to be able, and at least for Rash, her second wolf, to be able to do some damage. And what this means is it's kind of a chaos fang was my internal code name for it. You apply at random 5 status effects at 10 stacks each. So they're totally random. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to lunge toward an enemy, so it does allow you to close distances. And you can paste that enemy with those 5 random status effects. So, like, will you get heat, cold, whatever. It's just totally random.
And when he dies.
Yeah, and when you do kill that target, there's a small spread radius that is moddable, but it's really about trying to pick enemies in a pack, like enemies that are really densely clustered, that you're going to want to make sure that when you kill that enemy, you do so when they're near other folks, because it will spread. Yes, condition overload frame. It works really well with certain melee mods, condition overload in particular. Can it apply mixed statuses? Yes, it can pull from any status in the game, apply it, and then it'll spread just to that small radius around that enemy. And then her 3, Megan's already had up this whole time. You can see that it's generating those health orbs and generating energy on headshots.
Oh, don't look at me.
So now you're invisible, and you're going in, you broke your stealth to attack, and if you and you can see at the top, she got the kill, which means her buff is active for a limited time. Can it apply Void? I think that's the only one it can't apply right now, but everything else, anything that you can mod for, it can apply. Megan's going to be in trouble here soon, but I think you got this.
Oh, don't you worry, because guess what you can do in this node, Rib, that we talked about last time? A little bit of a necromech action is allowed in this node, and I think I'm almost at the 5-minute mark, which means we're going to have some friends spawn that have a lot to do with the economy within...
You're going to die.
No, I'm not.
No, you're invisible. Good job.
Invisible.
Oh, and your health orbs are there. Look at you.
Don't worry about me. I'm just going to go back.
Everything is working as
Yum,
designed.
yum, 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 yum. Be a little sneaky, a little stealthy. Let's get my status up. All right, here they come. But I'm well equipped for this.
Oh. All right, so we did say that necromechs are coming to this game mode for the first non-railjack open world variants. After some testing, we are going to have them flow in a little bit on a cooldown. So in this survival mission, every 5 minutes, these Lua Thrax variants spawn, and they drain life support at 2 times the speed. For that reason, the necromech, you can have it active for 2 minutes on cooldown just to try and keep some of the chaos abated, but it's still super fun, super chaotic, but it's not completely unrestricted, and that was a decision we made after testing. Oops. You can go right into it. So if your necromech dies, or if you spend its duration, it's up to you. But every 5 minutes, you may want to be rotating them in and out. I think it's a 10-minute cooldown right now, and then you have it active for 2 minutes, and then you want to take out these Thrax, Lua Thrax variants that are draining your life support at 2 times the rate while they're alive. So you can imagine the mission flow is going to have some peaks and valleys, because at that 5-minute mark, depending on how dense your life support is, you risk failing if you don't kill those enemies quick.
So I killed them both, and I'm good to go.
All right. Perfect.
But we got to talk about our ultimate.
Yes. So as of now, you are able to, get into stealth, have some melee buffs, generate some health, generate some energy, and then Ulfrin's Descent puts you down on all fours and gives you 5 charges that lunge you toward an enemy, and all enemies in that radius are going to be impacted by Slash. So this is really, really a way for you to move around the map quickly. Enemies in range, you can just lunge right to them, and you have these 5 charges to spend Ulfrin's Descent. And of course, this ability you can cast your other abilities in, so if you want to go invisible in this mode, you can. And what's going to happen is, if your first attack is lethal, it scales the damage over the next attack. So the thinking with this ability is that, wolves are known to seek out the weakest in the pack, and for this one, because you get those 5 charges, we thought we could have a really fun time scaling damage based on how good you were at picking out the weaklings. So your first one, ideally, is spent on someone that you know is going to die, and because you can cast those other powers, you can hit them with your Raksh first, so get them all chaotic with the status effect, and then the damage on your next strike will scale. Enemies in range are going to be slightly stunned with the slash proc, and then the enemies that you do hit, if they have status on them, they do take more damage. So what you'll find yourself doing is sort of going into that Ulfrin's Descent mode, casting your other abilities. You do get those 5 charges, and if you are tactical with them, you will be able to get that damage scaling by that last strike to maybe take out an enemy that's a little more on the beefy side. Yeah, so you're really just moving around like crazy, meleeing, getting into position, cloaking, causing chaos with your second, keeping health, keeping energy. She's a bit of I would say a damage / tank, a bit more damage than tank, because she doesn't have quite the base stats that you would expect in a more tanky frame, but because of her passive, you may find yourself just doing just fine with survivability.
And we got to talk about this guy a little bit.
Yes, and there is something else happening on the Lua conjunction. There is a roaming entity that is an ally to you in some strange way. The Void, if you spend your time in this particular desaturated but not area, your casting speed and ability strength is increased. So it's sort of up to the player to decide if they want to spend their survival mission with this specter of sorts, but not the Warframe type, because it's already a thing. But it's not Teshin, maybe? It's hard to say. Maybe. I don't think so.
Maybe, maybe not.
So you can move
Could you get more non-committal?
Yeah, a bit more non-committal, but this particular entity will move from tower to tower, which you can allow yourself to position if you want that buff. And while you're in that weird, perhaps Viviri-looking area, your ability strength and casting speed are up. So it's by up I mean increased. So it's kind of up to you how you want to play this mission. Do you want to use your necromech? Do you want to?
Oh, the lasers! No.
Why didn't you have Ulfrin up?
Oh, because I was just looking at my dude.
Oh my god.
Anyways, I'm out of here.
Oh my god.
I'm out of here. Oh,
Eternalism and his Teshin is not
I was
Teshin.
just checking out my guy, you know?
Yeah.
Seeing what he was up to.
Oh, and the other important thing about her first ability, her Shroud of Dynar, is it actually also gives you a speed increase. So
Look at me go!
If you turn it off, oh, you're gonna die.
fine.
She is a little bit on the slower side as a base frame sprint speed, but her one ability does increase your speed, so it gives you a speed increase. And then the stealth is, of course, expended once you attack.
There you have it.
And that's Voruna.
Woo! 4
A lot of
passives,
talking.
4 abilities.
That is a lot to put together in one statement. Well
Yeah,
done.
it has been a journey making her. The team has done an amazing job. Weird. She's got so many little things. She's got the reasons for her, the way she looks, the way she does, and then of course all of her wolves playing a part in her success.
I
Yes.
love it.
What is time for?
A platinum prize, because we haven't done one yet. Wow, we love that. Whew, I'm tired.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You just survived almost 13 minutes in a.
Just hanging out, you know. Just hanging out with my girl.
Jackala?
I trust you. I can't see that. It's a little blurry for me.
JA_KOWAL.
You did it. You won 1,000 platinum. And yeah, so for Voruna, she is coming in 2 days. She's coming out Wednesday. So we are going to be polishing up everything we can for her release, so you can get your hands on her. She's got lots to offer. Very, very melee centric and very, very, very like don't stop casting abilities. Always be moving.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
And with that Lycus hunt,
Like
you
a
know, you
headshot.
keep that energy up, keep the health
Yes.
up. Like it's really the synergy between the 4 really helps her out if you can, you know, get that flow correct. So,
Yes.
all right. Did you talk about Yonta Store a little bit?
A little bit. So we do have